What's happening, guys? Jason here, and today we get to do a fun little experiment. So this is my 1999 Chevrolet Suburban GMT 400. I've had it for the past 3 years just as a backup vehicle. I'm getting rid of it. I'm going to sell it because I've got a truck now and I've got other backup cars, so this guy's just been sitting. Didn't clean it up in the slightest. I just cleaned my junk out of it, snapped pictures, and threw it up on Facebook. It's a running, driving, registered, ready to go pickup truck. Ice cold air conditioned, heater, everything works on it. Radio doesn't work, but everything else works on it. But it ain't pretty. Have it up for cheaper than anybody else. I get nothing but absolute lowballers and stupid questions. So I know what's going on here. I've been down this road before. The truck doesn't look good. So today what I'm going to do is we're going to pretty it up a little bit. We're going to basically do as cheap and easy stuff as I possibly can. And we're going to fix that up, and then we're going to relist it on Facebook at a higher price. Even though nothing mechanically changed, I bet you I sell this truck for a higher price once it's cleaned up and some of the cosmetic stuff is fixed on it. Because people are like fish. They like shiny things, okay? They love shiny things, and something that is dull is considered to be a bad vehicle. Alright, so we're going to walk around here and show exactly what's, quote-unquote bad about this truck. I've already cleaned up the headlights on it, but like this right here is loose. That's an easy fix. Our hood is oxidized pretty good on it. The top is even worse up there. Come down the side over here. We got a little bit of oxidization here that I'm not concerned about. This is a interesting one. It shows you how hot it gets in Texas. They have these little rubber silicone doohickeys that cover up what model it was, and they melted, and it doesn't look good at all. Back here we've got carpet staining and whatnot that is mostly my fault that I've left back here, and yeah, that's what people do not like. Okay, we're going to start with the easiest thing first, which is the headlight casing here, and yeah, go ahead and peel this guy out right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue the cover back on right here and get that one little problem out of the way. I grab my putty scraper right here, and if there's just a stupid little channel that it's got, and just step up and clean that channel out to where I can get a good chemical bond with my glue. A bead into the channel. Lens has a little thing up here that says top, so we know which one goes where, and then we just come by with a little blue painter's tape to make sure gravity doesn't, screw with us. And let that dry. Alright, so our next problem out here is the roof. As you can see, the roof has seen better days, and for the most part people don't even look up there, but it's right on the nose cap right there, so that's kind of got to be at least rattle can to get out of the way. Make it look a little bit better than what it does right now. So, I got to step up right here and get the oxidization off from there. So I'm just going to take a 400 grit on the DA, which not how you're supposed to do this, but again, we're doing fast and dirty. This is Shady car dealer tricks and basics 101. We're just going to knock that oxidization down so we kind of can't see it. Oops. I'll take my Rust-Oleum here. Probably not what you're supposed to do, but screw it. Okay, now we're gonna let that dry, and as you can see, if you're just down here looking at it, it looks significantly better than where we started. And unless I sell it to somebody who's, 6'5" or bigger, they're never gonna notice. Okay, so now we're gonna be moving on to this crap, which I anticipate to be quite a challenge. This stuff was never supposed to melt. I don't know why. Texas heat, black truck, I guess. We're going to try to peel it off without damaging the paint. So, my weapon of choice here is going to be a heat gun and some WD-40 and a wood stir stick to use as a scraper. The idea behind WD-40 is it gets behind glue and makes it to where it doesn't hardly want to stick. Kind of like that. Now we're going to come in with something a little more extreme here and try to be careful with it, with the paint, and that's a carburetor cleaner. I'll get the residue off. Oh yeah. But for right now, we're going to move on to another part of the car that always makes it look trashy and is so easy to fix. So this guy right here was supposed to be black, and over time it just fades out. So what we're going to do is we pop these guys off. Grab some of this trim black. This is So wiper blades are put back on, and it looks like it just rolled off the showroom floor with that. We're going to come in to the underhood section, and yeah, this is where a lot of the magic happens, because you'll open up the hood and you'll see it dirty, and people confuse dirt with, not running right or bad or stuff like that. So we're going to have to come in here with the pressure washer and spritz all this down and then try to pretty it up a little bit. Now, number one thing you do not want to do at this thing whenever you're pressure washing is anything electronic. You really want to disconnect the battery, make sure everything's set up on it, and you don't want to focus in real heavy on anything with an electrical connector on there. Most of this stuff has waterproofing on it, but God knows how long it's been sitting there, if it's ever been taken apart and it's missing, whatever. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect the battery. Okay, so we're going to step up to the art of engine bay cleaning. Now, the only true way of perfectly cleaning the engine bay is to get in here with, little brushes and hand scrub and put a lot of elbow grease into it. Cheap and easy hack is when it's hot out here like it is today, get yourself some cleaner, right? Simple Green is very, very popular. I have this multi-surface LA Totally Awesome cleaner right here. Whatever. Doesn't matter. What you want to do is you really want to spritz everything down typically what you would do is you'd have the truck running and you would make everything hot, and then all this stuff would really start steaming and foaming up real nice and all that. But it's so hot out here, this will work. And again, I'm lazy. Bam. One quickly detailed car interior. Now what you really want to do is go take a breather. Go crack open a beer or whatever. Let this engine bay dry out really nicely before you go firing it back up or anything. I'm just going to give it a little kick out into the yard and let the Texas sun do its thing. Okay, so I got my rag. Now, if you notice, nothing's exactly shiny under here. That's where this stuff comes in. This is Trim Restore. And as the name suggests, it restores trim. Pour it on, it is incredibly slimy. And you just work it into any black surfaces. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of that. And now, instead of a hideously dirty engine bay, you pop the hood and you see clean, shiny, and you think, oh, hot damn, this truck's been maintained. This truck is in excellent shape. This is going to make a great car for me. Alright, so next up in our quest is paint peeling in the bumper section there. Got it taped off. Don't really have to do much else, just come along with the rattle can and everything. Yep, she's garage kept. Alright, so now we're gonna mix up a little bit of clear I had on the shelf. I'm gonna give the noggin a little bit of clear, and if it works pretty good, I'll see about spraying this hood just a touch. Oh hell, can't be worse than it already is, right? But yeah, totally not the right thing to do. But after a little bit of a wet sand and buff, it looks a hell of a lot better than it did. And that's what we're going for today. Hell of a lot better than it did. Okie dokie, so day 2 of this little project here. We are back in action. This thing is set outside in the Texas sun, so it is well and truly baked. As you can see, these little bit of orange peel in this that we're going to sand out right now. So I got my 1000 grit paper and a bucket of soapy water, and we're just going to get in here and really give it a run and make sure that gets done. Okay, so this is what we're left with right now. There's obviously orange peel still in it, but the thing we're going for here is not perfect. It's never going to be perfect. Perfect would have to be repainting the entire truck, doing body work, and it's just not worth that. We're aiming for better. Is it better than it was? Well, we're about to find that out as soon as I get the buffer up. Okay, so we have hit the point of diminishing returns on the hood. I went in and sanded it much flatter and came back and hit it, and that's about as good as it's going to get. It looks pretty good wet right now. It looks pretty good dry too, better than it ever did. So you're probably wondering, which part of this utter butchery are we moving to now? As you ask. We're going to get some of this staining out of the carpet, or at least try to. I had this pretty clean, and then I threw a bunch of shit back here, and it got dirty again. So we're going to hit it with the steam cleaner. If that don't work, we'll have to resort to alternate methods. So bam, now we put some tan lines in there, or some lines in the carpet, tan carpet. You don't really see it near as bad, so that is good enough for me. Alright, so we got the interior vacuumed out, both sides, nothing major to see there. And this is one thing that makes a car look really junky that you can take care of really easily. So all this dirt that's in here, we just take and grab any kind of cleaner. This is just an interior cleaner I had on hand. Make it a little bit shiny. Come in there. And bam. Now, technically what I can do is come along and rattle can that, make it look a little bit better, which is probably what I'm going to do. But for right now, we're going to clean it up and all the way up and around and do that stuff. So now that we're all done in here, suddenly this truck looks super clean, super well maintained, no problems at all. Yeah, same story back here. A little bit scratching, nothing major, but it looks clean. It's just one of them tricks. So we are pretty much done. I can also show another one of those tricks. Right here. Bam! Mirror shiny. A little bit of a sag in there. Nobody notices. Looks better than oxidized off. Just little visual tricks to get in your head as the buyer. This is what happens. Finishing touches on the outside. And the biggest thing you can do, especially on a black vehicle, is make your tires shine. Okay, and that's it. We're done. Now we're going to finish this out for now, and then I'm going to wait a couple of days and we'll put this thing up on Facebook, so whenever it comes out I'll be able to tell you how much more it sold for. And I can almost guarantee you it's going to sell for more. Now I got a question for you. What did I actually do here to the truck? Nothing. I came by with a little bit of free product, a little bit of elbow grease, and I made it look good, and then in turn it's going to make it sell faster. Now, when I hear this time and time yet again, used car dealers are scum. Used car dealers are scum. Yeah, there's quite a few of them out there that are scum, but they're being trained by you, the buyer, because it is so much easier to come by and just drop one of these off at a Mako paint job or whatever, just get a cheap paint job on it and make it look good and sell it to you than it is to actually get them running right. And people have a real bad habit of going for the shiny one rather than the running one. They buy shiny, it breaks, it's cheaper than everybody else, and nobody stops to think, why? Why is it cheaper than everything else? They just see a really clean looking car and think, hey, it was well maintained and it's going to do me good. And then they get burned. So yeah, I'll bring the final notice as to how much it sold for, and so the verdict is in. When I originally listed the truck, I had it up for $2,500. It was up for a week, and the best offer I got was $1,300. Obviously, I politely declined. After fixing all of the cosmetic issues on it, I had it up for exactly 15 hours before it sold. I had it up for $3,200, and I wound up taking $2,300. So I came close to my original asking price after negotiations, and all I really wanted for the truck was $2,000 anyway. So the $300 extra was just a bonus for my labor. So yeah, pretty much the experiment is over. People vastly prefer shiny things to mechanical function, and they're willing to pay more for it. So yeah, basically 4 to 5 hours of labor netted me an additional $1,000 over my original top offer. Now maybe I could have got $2,000 for it if I'd stuck it out and everything, but who knows how long that would have taken. But yeah, people like shiny stuff. So thanks for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you enjoy these videos and you want to see more.